Hi everyone, and welcome to this special spring renewal episode of Apex Luxury TV. We are shooting today from Sea Salt, which is one of our most desirable properties. It's a gorgeous 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath home right on the water in Falmouth Fourside. And it is available for all upcoming rentals. So if you would like to check out Sea Salt, visit apexluxuryrentals.com. And we have a really special guest in the kitchen today. It's Chef Josh, and we are going to talk all things pesto. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks, this is great.
Yeah, so as the weather gets warmer, basil's growing in the gardens, farmers markets.
Right. Who doesn't like pesto?
Who doesn't like pesto?
Who doesn't have a ton of basil? You've always wanted like the spaghetti, snakes in the grass, mix in the pesto, have that great dish. We made some pesto earlier, Maggie and I did. Very traditional pine nut, Parmesan cheese, garlic, olive oil. The one we want to focus on today is, this is a pesto I like to use all year round, not just when you get basil out of your garden. So this is a great dish. As we're going to make it, I used to make it in the restaurant. It's a really fun thing to do. So we're going to make a walnut pesto. And I know that sounds crazy. There's not a lot of herbs in it. So what we're going to do is take some toasted walnuts, which you can just get here, okay? I have a small mortar and pestle.
If somebody doesn't have a mortar and pestle, can they use a food processor?
Oh, you could use a food processor,
Okay.
Totally do it. There's one important step that we're going to do, whether it be mortar and pestle or food processor, that will show just the last step.
So I know with basil pesto, there's not necessarily measurements. People can kind of mix and match and do for their own palates. Is that going to be true with the walnut pesto?
Same thing for the walnut pesto, yeah. You can really make this as much as you want or as little as you want. If you like a lot of garlic, you can add a lot of garlic. If you like more cheese, it's really to your own preference of how you like it.
Okay, so what are the ingredients we're working with?
Simple, we're only talking like 4 or 5 ingredients here. So we have some nice toasted walnuts, which I love walnuts. It's a great meaty flavor, right? And once you toast them, it's okay to toast them a little bit more. Not quite burnt, but go ahead and give them a nice charge.
So we're just like in the oven at
in the oven,
350 for 4 or 5 minutes?
I'd say like 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
10 minutes or so.
When you start smelling it, that's when you
Yep,
pull them, right?
exactly.
Okay.
Yep. There's some garlic cloves. Make sure you trim off the stems of your garlic. Fresh garlic is really delicious. Okay. Parmesan cheese that I've grated down, so it's a nice powder for us. Some extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper. So that's really it. So it's pretty easy to make.
And most of you probably already have this between your pantry and your fridge. So.
Yeah. Another fun thing to do is, I love the walnuts, but again, if you have a lot of pecans in your pantry, you could try that, or almonds, a nice almond pesto.
I feel like pesto is one of those great things for people that might be a little intimidated to kind of play around in the kitchen, right?
It is.
And let yourself have fun, because you can always add more stuff in and change the flavor,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Okay.
So for our dish, we're going to take a little bit of the, here, you want to hold?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of walnuts.
And for people that don't have a mortar and pestle, what can they
Food
do?
processor's great. It's that one last step at the end that I'm going to show you, that no matter what you use.
So stay tuned.
Yep, stay tuned. So we're going to have the walnuts in there. Again, we're going to make this a little bit, not super garlicky,
Okay.
right? We're going to start with just that, and then a little bit of sea salt. Okay, so why don't you go ahead.
And we're in sea salt, so.
Oh, look at that. Go ahead and start.
Okay.
Yep.
Now,
And
is there a technique to using this that people should know about?
Well, with the mortar and pestle, it's really, you want to, once you get the ingredients kind of mashed in and pulverized, you just want to let it work the sides of the pestle and the mortar together, and that's what you're going to make this nice paste with. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, you're doing it so good. You're doing it so
I was really
good.
expecting this.
Tag me in.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So when you do it, you want to push down and then turn in. Yep, just like that. Oh.
Woo!
You smell that garlic,
yeah, that
right?
just got released. The vampires are turning the other way.
But that salt is a wonderful abrasive, right? And that's going to help with this, okay? So, once you get this walnut, garlic, salt paste kind of made, okay? If your mortar and pestle is big enough, you could mix it all right in here. But I have a larger metal bowl I want to show everybody so I can really mix it in.
Okay, so this is sort of the consistency we're going
Yep, we're going like a walnut garlic paste. Now, if you were going to make just the traditional basil pesto, it would be very similar, except instead of walnuts, we'd use our basil, right? And then the pine nuts add the richness to it. Okay. So now that we have that all mixed up, okay, we're going to add a little bit of olive oil.
Is there a certain region of olive oil you prefer?
I actually like California olive oil. I think it's got a little bit more pH to it. It's got a little bit of pepperiness.
So that's about, what, 3 tablespoons or so you just put in?
So mix that up. That's a nice mixed up. Now, when it comes time to dealing with any of the cheese that we add, We don't want to add the cheese into the mortar and pestle, and you don't want to add the cheese into your food processor because the heat of the blade will actually melt the cheese and you'll get this separated kind of feel, right? So now we're going to add the cheese at the end, and you want to just fold it in.
Let's fold it in.
That's it. Okay. So we're going to add a little bit of cheese in there.
Okay, so folding.
There you go.
Right? You just kind of, not over mixing, just do it so everything's just sort of blended.
Right. And then we'll finish with a little bit of fresh pepper.
Okay. Again, everything here is to taste, right?
Yep.
But you can't take salt away, so.
I'd add a little bit to start, and then we'll go back.
And then we'll go back.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go ahead and give this a nice little taste. Okay?
It's so, I mean, even though it is heavier because of the walnuts, this is something you could truly eat all year round.
Oh yeah, all year round. And then once you feel comfortable with this, what's exciting is what else you want to add to it, right? Maybe add some chilies to it, some chili flake, make it a little bit spicier, right? Or we add, you know what I mean, with the heaviness of the walnut, but it also can handle some bright herbs in the summertime. Some tomato would be great with this, or in the fall.
And this was so easy. Again, this is stuff that most people probably already have hanging around. Okay, now that we have it made, what are we going to do?
We're going to make a great pasta for you today. So we have this pasta made. This is the pappardelle, right? In Italian means big gulp, right? So big pasta shape. And we want to, even if it's fresh pasta.
So say the difference between fresh pasta and dry pasta, because I know that.
Well, there's a misconception that dry pasta is bad, which it's not, right? Dry pasta is great. And even for fresh pasta, you do have to let it dry a little bit so you can get that al dente, that to the tooth kind of flavor out of it. So what we have here is some fresh pasta. We've let it dry a little bit, okay? We're going to toss it into some boiling salted water, all right? Once it's cooked, we're going to mix in some of the pesto. We're going to add a little bit of the pasta water to it to help make that sauce. And then I have some fun ingredients that we're going to...
Okay, while you're doing that, a mistake that I always make as an extreme rookie chef is that I always used to dump all the pasta water out, and then I would later on read in the recipe that you would have to add some back in. So a little hack would be to always leave about a cup of pasta water to the side in case you need to add it into your sauces or anything.
Excellent tip.
All right, so now that that's cooking, is it a common mistake for people to overcook their pasta?
100%, yep. You'd rather undercook the pasta because once you mix it in with the sauce, it's going to continue to carry over cook, and you want to have that, again, like that little bit of bite to it. You don't want... Nobody wants soggy noodles, right? Gross.
So how do people know when their pasta is ready to take out?
What I would do is test it. Take a piece of pasta and bite it. And if it's still a little soft, you know, and still a little like chewy on the inside, that's exactly what you want. Take it out, strain some of the water, save some of the water though, like you said, you know. As you can see, you always want to have a lot of water for your pasta, and you want to always have it at a rapid boil, okay? I know some cookbooks and some chefs will say add a little bit of olive oil to the water. I don't do that. We want that starchiness to help with the sauce, and if we wanted to add oil to it, we'll add it in at the end, especially with our pesto that has that nice olive oil flavor to it. So, our pasta's coming up. The fresh pasta doesn't take long to cook at all. I'd say 3 minutes at the most, all right? We're gonna strain some of this out. So, now you want to come over here and test this for us, just to see. All right. Test that.
Have a degree in pasta testing.
Degree in pasta testing. Is it close?
Just have that little bit of resistance.
Just that little bit of bite. That's all you want. Yep.
I'm excited to try it with the pesto.
Okay. So we're going to pour a little bit of this out.
And while Josh is doing that, I just want to remind all of you that the Apex Luxury Homes, we have kitchens that are meant to be used. They are all very well appointed. A lot of them have, you know, all stainless steel gas appliances. And we also offer services where we can arrange to have private chefs come in and make you dinner if you don't feel like doing it for yourself, because you know you are on vacation. We can also set up to have provisions waiting for you upon your arrival if you do want to do cooking yourself. So there's lots of options for those of you who want good food, but you might not want to do all the work yourself. So.
Excellent tip. So the best part of this is once your pasta's cooked, the dish is pretty much done. Okay.
So if it's a Monday night and the kids are screaming for food, you can pretty much have this entire thing done, throw in a baguette or something with under 10 minutes.
Oh yeah,
okay.
easily. Or like you said, I mean, if you're here on vacation, oh, What a great dish to just whip
Yeah.
out, sit on the porch,
Oh,
enjoy
some
that view.
Yummy wine. I love that idea.
So we're just gonna add the pesto that we just made, right? Right into some of these wonderful noodles. Remember, we left a little bit of that pasta water in there.
Now people could use any shape, right? Or does pappardelle tend to work better for
any shape would be great,
Okay.
right?
Ooh.
Can you smell that?
Oh, it's so good. I can't wait to try it.
Right? Okay. And you can see how the oil and a little bit of that cheese and walnuts emulsified some of that really nice water.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, let's grab our
Let's put it in the blue bowl.
what's a blue bowl.
Pop off a little more.
Okay.
And it looks like you have some things to finish it off with as well.
I do, yep. So we're gonna take some of our pasta right in here.
So what sort of wine would you recommend drinking with?
With
a walnut
this?
pesto. Or a beer?
Yeah, I would say, well, you're in Maine, so there are some incredible beers, right?
Yeah.
But I would probably go for a Sangiovese with this.
That is really beautiful already.
All
All right,
right.
so let's talk toppings.
Yep. So what we have is I like a little bit of fresh lemon peel, right? I think
There's a little
lemon and
brightness.
walnuts really kind of complement each other, and maybe they're not as familiar, but they really complement each other well. Okay. We have a little bit of gorgonzola cheese. Okay. We're gonna sprinkle a little bit of gorgonzola.
And I imagine feta goat cheese could
Feta, goat
again,
cheese.
this is something people can have fun
Again,
with.
I think walnuts lend themselves to like cheese boards,
Yeah.
right? And you'll have a little bit
Yeah.
of that to go over. And then this is some saba or grape must, right? It's almost, think of it like an aged balsamic. It's gonna add a nice sweetness to this dish, okay? So, and then just to finish it off, a little bit of bright garden rosemary on there, right? Not too much, you know, rosemary can be pretty powerful, but when it's super fresh like this and not dried, it has a great bite.
That's a great smell.
Mhm.
I mean, that's so beautiful. Look how quickly that was done. And you can, you know, show your guests, make this for yourself, and I might just eat this whole bowl all alone.
I know you love
Smells like
pasta.
it. Can we give it a little try?
Let's do it.
Okay. Thank you, Chef, so much for joining us and showing us this incredible walnut pesto recipe.
Thank you, it was my
It
pleasure.
was really great for joining us in the Sea Salt Kitchen. And before I take a bite, I will remind all of you, if you are interested in sea salt or any of our beautiful homes, then please visit apexluxuryrentals.com. And thank you to DB Food Photo for always being our incredible videographer and news relations. And cheers.